Hi, I'm Milton Rendell and welcome to Real News Friday. Another busy week. The statistics are certainly showing some interesting trends. 902 sales in West Australia, according to statistics from Real Estate Institute of WA. That's a big figure, certainly one of the highest we've seen for quite some time. Stock levels at the moment sit at 10,422, so it's pretty stable in terms of stock. But it's been an interesting mix in terms of sales in the last week. House sales were up 15%, unit sales were up 21%, and land sales were down 41%. Keeping in mind the previous week that there was a real spike with land sales, so there'll obviously maybe some new subdivisions or some new incentives introduced by builders in probably that week. Could be a whole pile of different things, but encouraging that we're seeing more house sales occurring, which is a good thing. In terms of rentals, 2,975 rentals available in the market, so we're under that 3,000 mark still, and that's down about 4% on what it was 1 month ago, and 52% down on what it was 12 months ago. So obviously the rental market's still remaining quite competitive, and we are seeing quite large numbers at our opens. So market overall, we're still seeing a lot of activity throughout the area. Around Midland is probably some of the highest activity I've seen for probably a couple of years, which is really encouraging. Home open numbers are certainly up and inquiry is up. Same with Midvale. And what was really interesting this week, we saw in some of the statistics released by the Real Estate Institute that Swan View was one of the fastest selling suburbs in September. Yes, Swan View. It was in the top 10. In fact, it's number 6, just under places like Subiaco, etc. So well done to Swan View. But what was really interesting is the average days on market have been on the decrease for quite some time, and that's one of the first sort of showings of an improved market. In Swan View, they were down on an average of about 27 days down on what they normally would take to sell. So that's a really encouraging sign, and that's sort of the median across the marketplace. So we're following the trends of most of the areas. Having said that, the most popular areas, obviously, are areas like Subiaco and all that, always have a greater activity, we know that, but it's good to see it's coming back through this eastern corridor. And like I said earlier, well done to Swan View to get up there in statistics and represent the area. But overall, we're seeing far more interest in the area. Obviously, there's a lot of development happening in Midland. We're sitting in one of the major developments, that being the Catalyst building, and that's attracting an enormous amount of interest. And we are having continual good influx of inquiry for apartments in the building, and we're expecting that we'll have it fully leased by Christmas. But we'll see how that evolves as we go along. But overall, marketplace, there's a lot of positive things happen. We've discussed this in the past. I think one of the good measures for us is Plus Your Settlements, which is our settlements arm of our group. We're seeing some of the busiest activity for 5 years. Other guys have been extremely busy, and speaking to other settlement agencies, they're experiencing similar. But our guys have been absolutely flat out, so well done to Sam and the team. In terms of loans, Plus Loans has certainly received a spike in inquiry during the July-August period, and now we're starting to see some of that unfold, and people are starting to get in the market and buying things. So we are seeing plenty of positives, and I think that will continue between now and Christmas. In the meantime, all the best. Check out realestateplus.com.au.